Hi.
Doctor do it.
Welcome to Suplex the Sticks, a gaming podcast hosted by David and Seth.
Hello.
And Forrest.
Howdy.
And sometimes you can have a doctor do it.
That's true.
So true.
How are you doing?
Ask your doctor about Suplex the Sticks.
Ask my doctor about how I'm doing.
I don't go to a doctor. So,
Ooh.
I haven't gone to one in a while. I don't know. It's not good, but, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, it's not bad. If
I'm running.
If there's nothing wrong with you.
I run a lot, so
I
assume I'm doing okay.
would say things not being outwardly wrong is not a sign of a clean bill of health.
Can you
Well,
run
sure.
7 miles for
But I'm
us?
saying,
No.
like,
Doing
if,
great. I'm a racehorse.
if
over
there's
here.
nothing that is making you need to go to the doctor, it's not a bad thing that you haven't been to the doctor.
Yeah, sure.
Now, if you've got a bone sticking out of your arm and you haven't gone to the doctor in a while, that's a problem.
You gotta weld that sucker back in place.
Weld your
Yeah.
bone.
Ow.
I hate
I mean, bone
good.
heals by itself.
But, like, you just be melting your bones.
Yeah, but if your bones are metal, then you weld them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm a Terminator.
But also, can adamantium be welded?
Yeah.
Do Terminators have bones? I know that liquid guy definitely didn't.
No, he definitely turned into liquid. The liquid hardened to fake bones, maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know. The entomology of that.
I
I
think
think entomology is the right word.
Entomology is the study of insects.
That's true.
You're thinking of etymology.
Etymology. That's
freaking
yes.
science words. I think
The
just
main
'cause
reason I
something-
said that is because in SteamWorld Heist I just came across robots that
Our
decide to
entomologists.
replace their parts with bones because the world is running out of clean water to make steam with. It is a weird
Okay.
plot.
They're trying to retrofit themselves into being. They're reverse androiding themselves, reverse cyborging themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a little bit of a racist vibe to this. They are shaman type robots, so it doesn't feel great what's happening, but you know, it's fine. I love SteamWorld.
Well,
Now, is their end goal to?
Don't
Run
know
on
yet.
blood?
I just ran into them. I don't know.
You
Okay.
can make steam from blood, I guess.
I was just gonna say that bones may not be like so literal of a thing with robots, and maybe be more of a concept. You know, what
maybe
is
the
structurally
maybe the bones are
keeping
their
them-
money.
Yeah.
Also, the worms.
Yeah.
Did Terminators have bones? Did we decide? Also,
that's
is
what I'm
it-
saying, is
that
that-
liquid Terminator? Is he just like? Did they have? I don't know if they had the concept back then, but
They never fought more than
now,
one of him.
Is he just like? Do we know that he's just little nanobots? Is that what he probably is?
Like in Big Hero 6.
Yeah,
Or
but
Metal
smaller.
Gear Rising Revengeance.
What about... They never fought more than one of the liquid Terminators.
I don't know.
Why did we never go back to that well?
He might have come back and.
They did
that
a bunch
one.
of the Arnold ones in the other movies with
Well, it was
Matt
the
Smith
same
and
one.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale was in one of those?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was in Redemption, Renovation, Ragnarok. I don't know.
Revelation. Who
Uh,
knows? I don't know. I guess I need to watch these movies.
No, you don't.
They're pretty much all bad.
They are
That's fine.
nearly all bad and not in a good way. bad.
After 2, they kept trying to figure out how to do it.
Man, it is amazing that Terminator really is the franchise where they never really figured it out after that second one.
The Christian Bale one was all in the future.
Terminator Salvation.
Salvation. They finally put it into Skynet, maybe.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
But it was in the future.
What was Helena Bonham Carter doing in that movie? I don't need to know.
I think she
okay
was
with
acting.
It's possible.
The last Terminator movie
Probable,
was
even.
before COVID. Terminator
that
Dark
that was
Fate.
the Terminator before COVID. It's a weird title, but
That was the one with what's her name? Sarah Connor came back.
Yes.
I would like for there to be a good Terminator video game. I think that'd be cool. I think that they should probably do that.
there's one coming out. Oh, it got
It
delayed
got-
to next year.
Did it?
Will it be good though? That's
I want it
the
to be good.
qualifier.
Like, so I've always, it's on my list. I'm gonna buy it eventually. That RoboCop game apparently is
It's
very good.
Yeah, that's what I've
And
heard.
I want to play that. And so,
RoboCop.
if they can make a good
One of
RoboCop
the
game,
lyrics to what was that song?
RoboCop.
The Watch Me, the Dougie. He talks about cranking the
he
RoboCop
does.
and Supermaning that hoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Huh.
So all of
it's
that
been a
goes
minute.
back as yes. We're here to talk about video games, of course,
And Bones.
Bones.
And
Oh, yeah.
Doctors.
I played
Dr.
and
Bones?
I played and completed a video game.
Oh.
Yeah,
I did that.
It's called Still Wakes the Deep.
Ah, dang, man.
How many bones in that one?
You know, didn't see too many bone,
How many doctors?
but no doctors.
What?
But I did see
Any Terminators?
grotesque flesh monsters.
That's
They
a
probably
kind
have
of Terminator.
bones.
They
Yeah, but we're talking about visible
yeah
bones.
yeah they weren't visible
okay.
bones.
Obviously, all of the people had bones.
I really thought, small spoilers, I really thought that this game would end in a conclusion where we would get a Cthulhu. I was wrong. No Cthulhu to be
I
found.
heard this game is about drinking oil
There is
because there's no water.
Oh,
no,
God.
they don't do that.
Oh.
On at least on purpose. They do a lot of walking, and a lot of crouching, and then more walking to another place.
Yep.
It essentially
What I
is
do most days.
it essentially is a universal Halloween Horror Nights haunted house game where you are walking, and occasionally you are doing. And you know how bad I am at stealth. Very easy stealth things to get around the monsters and then leave. And because the game is made the way it is, they don't really want you to get a good look at the monsters, so you never really do.
Well, that's the key of any monster movie.
Sure.
Don't see the monster.
But by the end of it, I'll be honest, it's a 4 to 5 hour game. There was multiple points where it almost lost me, and then it would hook me back in. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I finished it. The ending of the game is very satisfying. Like most Lovecraftian stories, it also is sad, but it is, it's satisfying, and it ends well. I didn't know that oil rigs. This is gonna
Exist?
No, this is gonna sound really stupid,
Okay.
and I know. I didn't know that they weren't like drilled down to the ground. They're floating there. I always thought they were like really long pylons that went to the bottom of the ocean.
I would say that's a fair assumption to make. I don't know. Whenever you like see an oil rig and a thing, you never really see it like swaying
I wouldn't have
around or
guessed.
anything.
I'm
Like,
sure that the piles have to be pretty deep anyway.
I'm
Maybe they
pretty
don't
sure
go to
it's
the-
just floating, based on what I saw in this.
I think either way could make sense because depending on like where an oil rig is
That's
located,
true.
like that could be a
certainly
pretty
certainly
mile
in the
down
deep
to the
sea.
ground. Yeah, like
Well, that's where this
That's
this
gonna
is
be a
deep sea.
long-
Like, it takes a long time to get to it. That's
Yeah.
why part of why
I don't want the AI
yeah, I
answer.
know.
Well, you
Useless.
got it. Are some of them floating and some of them not?
I think that seems to be the idea.
Still crazy that
Yeah.
some of them are floating. I think this one was one of the floating ones.
Yeah, they float.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't know this. I learned it.
This feat is accomplished using physics.
Whoa!
Yeah, weird. What's that? What's
Amazing.
It's the things that make playing stuff like Half-Life and Portal and Halo fun.
I know what physics is. So yeah, the oil rig floats, and
Does it sink?
Spoils. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, there's parts of it that sink. The one thing that this game does really well is a sense of atmosphere, and it has a couple swimming sections that provide a large amount of anxiety of the world like closing in on you.
Ooh.
And I did not like that.
I love the sound of that.
I think it's worth playing. It's like I said, short. You don't really lose out on too much. I wish I had played. There is an option to have it in full Gaelic, like Scottish, instead of like half English, like English half, because they do still say stuff in Gaelic.
Yeah.
I wish I had just played in all Gaelic with closed captions, because it sounded more interesting. And the voice acting was very good. The one thing I would always recommend, and I recommend it with every video game out there, I nearly threw up an hour into playing it because it was making me motion sick. Especially with Unreal Engine 5 games, and I had this big issue with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Turn off motion blur. Holy mother of God.
One of the worst
one of what?
options.
Well, the way that Unreal Engine 5 does motion blur is the worst.
Yeah.
I was getting so sick.
I've also noticed that this is just a consistent problem, I think, with high fidelity games now, especially with like screens also being able to output
this?
more. I don't know.
People have to turn it off.
But like
You turn motion blur off, Seth?
I don't know.
Oh,
I've
God.
never
Probably
actively
not.
done it.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as a no then.
Oh, God, you're the person that leaves their TV on the default settings. I can't. Oh, God.
I can't
I'm not
stand
quite
it.
sure. I feel like I have turned motion blur off on my TV before, but I don't know that I've ever done it in the specific
Have you
game
turned
settings.
off motion smoothing on your TV?
I don't know. It's been so long since I set up the TV that
You
I
should.
can't remember what I've done.
Take
I
a
think I
look at your
probably have.
options, everybody. Turn off motion smoothing. Make your
So,
things look like they're supposed
It
to
does
look.
seem, while some are floating and there are fixed platforms that are fixed to the sea floor.
Are there some that are flying?
It seems that all versions are somehow connected to the seafloor.
Well, yeah, the thing has to drill.
Yeah, it's the drill.
Right, but even it's just like, like ropes or something.
Or an anchor.
Okay, like ropes. Gotcha.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, it's floating.
Yeah.
It's not. I've always thought the big pipe.
Yeah, I would have thought it.
I always
but
thought the
some do.
legs went always went down.
All the way down.
All the way down. And now I don't know how they would have achieved that. My brain doesn't get it, but that's what my brain always thought. So I can be an idiot. I have the ability. So yeah, I played that. It was good. Beat it. Uninstalled it because no reason to keep it there. I'm not gonna play it again. I got the achievements and I'm missing achievements. Don't know what else I could have done in that video game because it is walking from point A to point B. So
You've had to crouch in some places, probably.
I did get an achievement at one point for dying while swimming. So maybe I
Probably,
did it.
yeah, different types of dying.
Yeah.
Die while walking.
Which, I mean,
Die while crouching.
hold back achievements for me for being
Die
good at the
by
game.
not walking.
I also played Steam World Heist 2 on my Nintendo Switch. I bought it. There was one point where this game was thought to be on Game Pass. That is not the case. It is not on Game Pass, and that's fine because this is just so definitively a Switch video game. It just plays.
Sometimes just are.
Yeah, and there's a it's
Like Mario.
a vibe. Well, yeah, duh. I'm talking about like games like I wouldn't have played Sea of Stars all the way through on my Xbox.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like it, but like
I did that.
I know, and I think that's a valid way, but my brain takes a long RPG like that, and it's like I need
And puts it into that
puts it into the Switch
box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking about Sea of Stars a lot this weekend. Mainly because
Good game.
I retrospectively have been trying to figure out what I didn't love about Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, and I think that
Oh, yeah.
I think that
Forgot that I played that.
I think that at the end of the day, it's probably because I played it so, relatively nearly me playing Sea of Stars, and I think Sea of Stars is a better game, and has more interesting mechanics.
Yeah,
but
part of that also
this
is it was directly inspired by it. Has 20 years of iteration upon
right.
it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
But it's hard to play something old when you've played something new.
that's fair.
And I didn't quite realize it's hard to remember that game is an old game because it looks so new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it.
Listen, a good art style.
They didn't
is
do any.
timeless.
They didn't do any quality of life stuff, but they did all.
They did some, actually.
Really.
Yes, I was watching some videos about people who have done the Pit of 100 trials and before beating the first boss and getting the first of the crystal stars in it, which seems insane. But some of them in that will talk about how, I guess in one of the big changes is that in the original, when you leveled up, it only healed the partner that you had active. In this one, it heals all your partners. And in this one, in the original one, if a partner died in battle, when you went back to the main, out of the battle, they would still be dead. But in this one, after you leave a battle, they come back with 1 health, which is useful because there are badges that, multiply your strength by 5 when your partner has 1 health. And so you can kind of game it by
Gotcha.
letting one of your partners die.
Right, and then keeping them at 1 health.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, yeah, I've played those. I'm not near beating SteamWorld Heist 2. That game is 40 hours, according to how long to beat. So, that's going to take me some time. But I've played a lot. Yeah, I'm excited. There's some games coming out. I canceled all my pre-orders at GameStop, and now I have to pre-order Star Wars on the Xbox now. I forgot to do that.
Why do you have to pre-order it on the Xbox?
I need to get those missions. You don't understand. I need
pre-order bonuses.
I need the Jabba the
pre-order
Hutt
bonus missions.
and the Lando Calrissian and the Hondo Onaka mission.
Ooh,
We all love Hondo
my
Onaka.
boy.
I don't know who that is. It
You know-
sounds like a combination of Lando and Han.
Hondo Onaka is he's a rebellious scamp of a space pirate.
Heart of gold.
Heart of gold while also being a giant piece of garbage.
It
Yep.
just sounds like a combination
Can't
of
be
Lando
trusted
and
with
Han.
a single thing except for the fact that he can't be trusted. Love him.
You love a Star Wars space pirate.
Yeah. And he's best bros with Obi-Wan.
He's a Weequay pirate, Sith. Don't you know who he is?
Queequeg?
Weequay.
Yeah,
He's
Wee
cool.
Quay.
What about Queequeg?
Question.
He's from Clone Wars and from Rebels. And he also is famously a very high-tech animatronic in Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Ride at
Good old Disney.
Hollywood Studios. Monsters Inc. Land. We can talk about D23 if we want. No one wants to talk about that. How Monsters Inc. Land is probably taking over Muppets and everyone's freaking out.
That's sad. I'll miss my Muppets.
Where were their Muppets?
The very old 3D show at the Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
It's probably time for it to go. I'm gonna get canceled online for that, but that's fine.
I'm going to actively dox you.
That's okay. Well, that ride has film that shows old Hollywood Studios inside of it. And Hollywood Studios hasn't looked like that since 1991. So it is sort of a disassociation.
It's called preserving history.
Yeah, I know.
They should just leave it and at some point travel in time to the future.
Yeah.
Within the story of the ride.
Yeah.
It'd be a weird transition from Muppets to Monsters, Inc., but, you know.
There was no cool... The big D23 thing was all Fortnite, which I know is not exciting to anyone besides me.
It's true.
But they're adding Disney villains to Fortnite right now, and they're adding The Incredibles to Fortnite.
The best superheroes.
Mr.
Best superhero
Incredible.
family.
Not his blue suit, which they're wrong for that. Just
His
the red
golden
suit.
age blue suit.
That blue suit rules.
Do you
It's
think
the
it's Golden
best.
Age or Silver Age?
Golden.
Bronze Age?
Golden.
You don't know. Don't act like you know. You don't know.
Sure.
But who knows? Who knows what else?
I know.
The Disney, they
I
said
just said, we just established you don't know.
it is going to be really weird that Captain Hook is going to hold a gun and shoot people. Can we
Why?
like?
He's a pirate. He does that.
I guess. What about? I mean, I guess they use guns in The Incredibles too. Like, he gets shot. Well, the Incredibles don't use guns.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I was a bit, yeah.
But other people in that world do have guns.
But the evil queen doesn't have a gun, and now she will.
If she had access to a gun,
She absolutely
use
would
it.
have used
And
it.
Maleficent would use a gun.
Is Maleficent going to be in this?
Yeah, it's
Oh my
Maleficent,
God.
Evil Queen, and Captain Hook.
Oh, I missed that earlier. when you were
Really
talking about it.
missing out on having Gaston in there.
Truly.
Like, Gaston has a gun.
Would also use a gun.
Give Hades
Listen,
a gun.
So
Now, he's one I
here's
don't
a-
know would need a gun.
Here's a new reason I can't play Fortnite. Maleficent was my sleep paralysis demon
Yeah,
as a
it's
child.
Creepy.
Get revenge on her.
Imagine if she had a gun.
I did in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Because I had to play
Also,
Kingdom Hearts.
give Sora a gun. Put Kingdom
He's
Hearts.
got-
He's
guns.
got guns in 3. His
Yeah,
Keyblade
come
turns
on,
into 2
dude.
guns.
Put
Where have
Kingdom
you
Hearts
been?
in Fortnite. Where is it? Why can't I
I always
have
see
it?
I always
think it'll
see
probably
an
eventually
unsubstantiated
happen.
rumor like every year and a half or so that's like Sora's gonna be in Fortnite
I
this
know,
time.
I know.
And it's like, God, I wish, but
it probably
also
won't happen until there is other Kingdom Hearts news.
Or they'll announce they're releasing the final skin for Fortnite, like Smash, and it'll be Sora.
Man, I was talking with somebody at the comic shop about this the other week that like I wish Sora was the second to last character released for Smash Ultimate because then we actually would have had time to like still play the game and
Yeah.
enjoy the character before just completely dropping it.
Yeah.
But then Sora came out, which we were like so hyped about, and then
And then-
whoo,
Yep. We played
Done.
with him.
for like a week.
And
I
then
mean, I
the
still
game was
play-
over.
I still play Smash every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while, but it's nowhere near as active as
No.
as it was.
It is online, but they're all really good.
Yeah,
They're all really
we don't
good.
hold a candle.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So I guess I didn't know this, or at least I had forgotten. But did you? So Lego announced that they were entering in a deal with Fortnite forever ago, and
Sure.
that's
That's why we have Lego Fortnite.
why we have Lego Fortnite. But I had forgotten that.
But you played Lego Fortnite.
No,
A
no, no.
lot.
I know. I'm saying I forgot that they announced that there was a partnership.
Oh.
So like when I was listening to another podcast today, they were reminding people like this Disney thing they're working on is really big and they're adding a lot to Fortnite with it. They're just not ready for it. They're just not it's just not coming out yet. And then they equated it to sort of the Lego Fortnite deal where they were like Lego invested in Fortnite, Disney is now investing in, and it's going to spit out something like that. And I just never, my brain didn't put those two things
Now,
together.
why aren't there regular Fortnite skins that are Lego people? A minifig skin in regular Fortnite.
No, they're too tall.
But like stretched out to be the proper proportions of a Fortnite skin.
Yes.
Don't like that.
The
No,
horrific,
No, that's great.
no,
horrific
no.
image
No, no, no,
of
no,
a
no.
human proportion minifig.
No, I
Like
don't.
how would they
With
even
the
like
giant
hold the guns?
claw
You know?
hands.
I mean, like sure the axes and stuff is easy, but
I don't
like,
think you gotta worry about how they're holding things. You just stick things in their claws and they hold them.
they
I'm
just
wondering
shoot
how
like this.
Captain Hook
Yeah.
is gonna like with the hook hand,
It's probably gonna be his pickaxe.
but he has to
No,
use
he
it.
has a hook
He
hand.
doesn't have a hand. He's got a hook. I'm just saying.
Maybe he'll put on a prosthetic hand.
Maybe. Yeah, they'll show him doing it.
Yeah.
I'll
Before
make
he
a
pulls
point.
out a gun, he's got
I
like a
can't
little
wait to
animation of
shoot
him.
that blasted pan.
Because it's on his right hand, and they have pistols in the game that you hold with one hand. It's just going to have the
It'll
pistol
just
on.
be attached.
Maybe it's like magnetized to the hook, and then like
Yeah.
the
No, I'm
the
saying
curl of the
instead
hook
of
goes
the
on
hook-
the trigger.
It'll have a pistol attached to his stump of a hand.
He'll be like Mega Man, but with a
Yeah,
real
Yeah,
gun.
a real gun. Oh my god,
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
I wish this was Dustin Hoffman Hook. That's what.
So yeah, you mentioned Hook earlier, and that's like immediately where my mind went, and I'm like, oh wait, no,
I mean,
there's an
to a
actual like
12-year-old, I'm
Disney designed
huge.
Hook.
Lord, imagine if they announce it's a Peter Pan skin and it's just Robin Williams.
Oh, that would be. Oh, his estate would be
Yeah,
livid.
I think I would also be livid.
but
about
I would be
that.
so happy. I don't care.
I would take a Rufio skin.
Put
Easy
Peter,
peasy.
yeah, put Rufio in there. Peter Banning, like all covered in the color dust. Do that. I'd buy that. I don't care. The kid
who
that
touched,
rolls.
or the kid who touched Peter's face.
Yeah, yeah. yeah.
It is you, Peter.
The kid with the chicken basket on his head and he
all
rolls
the, all
down
the Lost Boys.
Yeah,
Every single one.
I can't remember their names at
There's
all.
too many.
Yeah, man. Fortnite. What a game!
Hook.
It allows
What
me
a
to
good
think of
movie.
all the collaborations that could be possible. All right, Seth, what
Hook,
did you
Hook.
play?
Where's the hook? You could put a boo box in the game.
Maybe one. Oh, yes. That's maybe one of the best soundtracks.
Boo
of
box
all time.
back bling.
Yeah,
Say it.
the boo box.
Say it as fast as you can.
Boo box back bling. Ooh.
So yes, I did. I remember that I played and finished Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door,
Good job.
which was fun. I think I enjoyed it much more than David did.
That's possible.
I also played with the sound on, and it had good music for the most part. Battle music kind of annoying.
Yep.
But I think I only disliked it because it was one of the main things that was a reference to the soundtrack of the other Mario games, because it's kind of just like a riff on the main Mario theme, which is fine, but I think it's one of the things that I like less about the Paper Mario direction that Nintendo has taken. Where they take the unique elements out of it. But otherwise, I thought the music was good. So the game does have an option for you to use the original GameCube soundtrack, and
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it a couple times at the beginning, but because I had no memory of any of those tracks, even the ones that I played, I mostly did it without. And it's really interesting because from what I listened to, the GameCube soundtrack was sort of low-key ambient, a lot of synth sounds, and they replaced that with just kind of balls-to-the-wall loud horns.
Oh.
Which is not to say it was bad. It just sort of creates a different vibe.
Yes.
And also makes some of the soundtracks get really annoying to hear over and over because they're just the horns are just so overpowering.
Yeah.
There were times where I was like running around the main town, like I can't listen to this anymore. It's driving me nuts. But other than that, I thought the music was pretty good as a whole. I liked it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the battles. I don't think the game was ever too hard. I do understand David's frustration with um, the wrestling tournament thing, which does go. It's a bit long in the tooth. Just the amount of battles that you have to do, and then all the story scenes that happen in the middle of them. But I thought by the end of it, it was, I was fine with it, because it was just sort of a blip on the whole, and I think it's fine that it happens. It's like maybe the third area that you go to, so
it's the midpoint.
I think it. I don't know if it's the midpoint, but I mean, I guess there are 7 stars that you have to collect.
It's 3 or 4. It's one of those.
Like I said, I think it could have been shorter, but I think it's probably... It's weird because, like, you build some kind of momentum in the story, and then you sort of have to slow down. But I think because of that, I'm glad it wasn't later in the game when you... It would be harder if you feel like you're near the end of the game, and then you have this really sort of slog that you have to get through.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good time. I wasn't expecting, like, the ending to be as sad as it was. Like, it's not really sad, but it's sort of, like, bittersweet.
It's very bittersweet and, like, retrospective. And, yeah. That's when it kind of roped me back in. Like, I was like, I didn't think I cared about these people, but then in the end, it's like, oh, yeah, I do know these people. But still, one of the things that I think kept me separated from the people was that, like, I kept accidentally having the wrong one as my sidekick in cutscenes where I wanted to have their
that is
reaction,
always a
which made me mad that the game wasn't better about putting the right ones in the right situation.
Well, I mean,
I don't think there.
Yeah, there isn't really a right one.
'Cause
they all have different reactions.
Because there's one where I was talking to the 2 sisters, and I didn't have the third sister as my sidekick, and I'm like, she's right here.
Yeah,
talk to her.
I think it
and the bomb's like, "Oh, this is crazy."
It would have been good.
Talk to the sister
in certain situations if the game brought out the other characters. I mean, I think it's neat that you can have whatever partner in story sequences, and they'll all have something unique to say. But yeah, I do think there are, in certain instances, specific characters who would be a bit more, who would make a bit more sense to have in your party and reacting to what was happening. But there were definitely a couple times that happened to me. It's like, I wish I had someone else instead of this person who really doesn't have any. Who just joined the group and doesn't really have any connection with these characters yet. But I liked all the characters. I actually was surprised. I found that for the most part, I switched between them in battle. Outside of, I think, one of them, the opera singer lady, just because I didn't think that she was as useful in battle. But all the other ones I pretty much used throughout the whole game.
Even Goombella?
Yeah, Goombella's great. I mean,
I barely used her.
She's, I think that she's like one of the more favored among the fan base because she's got like the infinite bounce attack, so she can do a whole lot of damage. But yeah, there were some times that I didn't have any, or didn't want to use any flower points to attack an enemy in the air, and so I could use Goombella to do it. I was surprised.
That's what I used my opera singer for.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't use her. But yeah, it's a neat little game. I enjoyed it. I did do the Pit of 100 Trials, which I think I did it too early because by like the last 20 floors I was I did not quite have enough health and flower points to maybe be there, but I managed to do it, and it was kind of cool because I got to the final boss, and it was only because of a few lucky of the in-battle roulettes that you can roll to to get random heals that I was able to even survive the fight. So that was cool. I found it to be like the most thrilling battle that I was in the whole game, because it was really the only time I felt like I was in danger of losing, because it's not a super hard game. But yeah, it was a fun time.
Good.
Rad.
So yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. Like I said, I liked it. I think some of the stuff just really grated against me. So, what else have you played? Anything worth talking about, or?
Yeah, past couple days I've been playing Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Part of the free set of games on PSN this month.
Yes, and it was. I remember when it was revealed at whatever thing, and it was like, it interested me because it was, rather than you being stuck in the security room, you're a kid and you can walk around throughout this insanely large indoor theme park, essentially. It's sort of a weird game because it's almost as much a walking simulator as you described, Still Wakes the Deep, because the scary thing with the Five Nights at Freddy's games is that you're stuck in one place and you have like dwindling power to be able to look at security cameras, and you sort of don't know where the robots are coming from. But in this one, you always can pretty much see where the robots are coming from because you're just in the room with them and you can walk around them and avoid them. So there are instances where you're trapped in a location and they are always nearby, and those are definitely tense. But for the most part, you can just kind of run around freely throughout this place, which sort of turns it into just sort of a creepy, abandoned building exploration game, which is interesting. But yeah, it's a strange experience, but fun enough short little game that I think I finished earlier today.
Did you absorb all the lore?
No. I actually looked up. I was looking up because it was clear that there were some other endings that I could do, and so I was looking up what all that stuff was. Apparently, this game was not as well liked by the fan base when it came out because a bunch of the lore that was promised was not actually in the final product, and there was a bunch of cut content. I mean, I don't know, but then they released a free DLC thing where you can go back and explore it like years later after it's been abandoned. I don't know that I'll do that, but yeah, it's an interesting little game. And so we saw the Borderlands movie. It made me want to play Borderlands. The only one I had access to was Borderlands 1. And gosh, that's a rough game.
Yeah.
It's strange how long I thought so. I had in my mind that it was like my favorite. This was before that David and I replayed it.
That was a rough experience.
Yes.
I don't know if that was the game's fault or the remake's fault.
I think it was mostly the remake's fault. But it really is such a slow starting game, and you do miss a lot of the quality of life stuff from 2 and 3. I played it for, I don't know, maybe a couple hours, and I just decided I can't do this. It's not fun enough, and it's so weird, like realizing that. And I know it's not really fair to compare this old game now to when it first came out, because when it first came out, it was sort of a big deal, and all the stuff it was doing was pretty new and different than other games. And so at the time, like, it legitimately was a really cool and different experience. But it's weird thinking about it now, how for so long I kept it above like 2 in my mind because of the first experience that I had playing it. And now I could barely get a couple hours into the game before I had to back out.
No.
Which is too bad.
I get it.
But still, the opening sequence in that game is more cinematic than anything that is in that movie. I was like struck by it, like just watching that opening thing where the guy's telling you the background, and then the bus comes and then hits the skag, and it's got the splash screen. It's just like it's cooler than anything that was in that movie. Unfortunately,
it is sad.
Had more style.
That movie was something.
Yeah,
I'm glad we saw it.
yeah.
I
really wonder what my opinion would be if I had not played any of the If Borderlands was not an IP, I wonder if that movie would be thought of any differently, or if we would think it was just as boring.
I think it would just be boring without the insult to injury of
Right.
This is a thing you know and maybe like.
Well, no, the changes they made to things.
Yeah.
Drastic changes.
Like, there are story changes and lore changes, which I think is fine. You can do that stuff if it makes a compelling story in your movie. And in these cases, it didn't. And sort of added to all the other boring stuff that was in it.
I mean, I thought the Halo show was interesting. It was weird, and I don't know if I love the changes they made, but at least it was doing something weird and kind of interesting. This was weird and not good. So there's a scale, a range that stuff can live on, and this was just bad and bad.
Would you believe that Eli Roth got the film greenlit based on the scene of Claptrap pooping out the bullets? That was the pitch that he brought to the producers, which was an idea that he had after walking his dog and watching him take a crap, and the weird shy way that dogs like don't look away from you when they're going to the bathroom. And that was what he brought to the producers, and apparently they loved it.
I think all producers should die.
This I don't understand. The writer of the Last of Us TV show worked on this.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
He wanted his name taken off. Makes sense.
understandable.
But we know your name was on it.
Yes.
At
At
some
one point.
point.
I wonder if he wrote all the stuff with that villain who was apparently important enough at one point to have his
Own splash screen.
have his own splash screen in the credits, but was only in the movie for
3 seconds.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was a really cool looking villain.
Crom.
Who was a named character that they brought from the game and was only there in this final confrontation. Maybe had a line.
Maybe. Wow.
Clearly at some point definitely had a bit more bulk in his story that was cut.
That sucks.
This movie looked simultaneously very expensive and very cheap at the same time, which was impressive to me. It in one shot would be like, oh wow, what they're doing here is they're really punching above their weight, and then you would see the CGI behind a character make them look like they're actually just floating in physical space.
Yeah, not
So,
great.
The multitudes.
Not great.
The multitudes.
But hey, at least what's his face promised us more Borderlands games.
Randy.
Yeah, Randy Pitchford.
He took the wrong message from this.
He takes the wrong everything from everything.
And now he's like, if you keep up with what he's been posting, he's like now trying to blame the Hollywood elites for the movie. Like, I didn't do this. They're the ones that made the movie.
He's probably right.
No,
but
he was bragging about how much he was on set. We saw the video of him on set harassing actors.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that means he was like involved creatively, but
honestly, that's much more likely is that he was just on set being a nuisance than he actually was of any assistance.
And honestly, if he had been involved a bit more creatively, it might have contained at least more of the DNA of the games. Now, it probably would have been more of the DNA of Borderlands 3, which I don't know would have made the movie better, but
probably not.
Jeff Grubb said one of the more shocking things about this movie that I had heard said, and it was that when Kate Blanchett dies, this will be the movie he thinks of.
No.
because it makes no sense why she chose to do this.
Yeah.
So strange.
It's just like, what?
I bet she got paid well.
Did she need the money? Like, what is they've got... Jack Black definitely didn't see anyone on the set. He definitely just, like, probably stood in his closet and recorded his voice lines and just sent them in. I would bet money. But, like, Kevin Hart and Kate Blanchett had to show up on that set and do things.
Yeah. It's just the whole thing is very
How
strange.
does Jamie Lee Curtis say that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is bad in a press junket for this movie? And I'm not saying the Marvel Cinematic Universe is good, but how do you say it
It's a strange
when
place.
you are doing a press junket for this movie?
I don't know. It's weird that she was in this movie. It was weird the choices that
You know the
were
movie
made
you
for her
just made,
character.
unless she's like on ketamine and was blacked out the whole movie. I don't think that's the case.
I wouldn't blame her.
But have like some self-awareness. I would be sad to be like going out on a press tour for this movie. I'm at Comic-Con for Borderlands. Jamie Lee Curtis, how was the set? Oh, well.
I don't know. It might have been fun to make.
I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't think so. This movie, movie told a small girl that she wasn't special in the way she thought she was.
That was funny. If only because Tiny Tina was just the worst in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then at the end, she didn't even have powers.
That's pretty funny.
It was a strange movie. Just very strange.
Forrest, what did you play?
Krieg was in it as just completely forgettable.
Yeah.
So I've had a few things happen actually. I got myself a new TV.
Good.
I'm finally
New
living
TV.
in the 4K world with the rest of civilized society.
Don't you know we're up to 8K now?
Oh crap! Dang it, another decade behind.
We don't use K either. We use L.
We're on 8L now.
Yeah.
Dang.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll come back around to it in 2034 because I think the last time I got a TV was like 2014. Dang. So I truly am just doing great. But yeah, this TV's awesome. It's an OLED.
Look, I was gaming on that non 4K forever. And David was always found it to be abhorrent whenever he watched me play it.
Yeah,
and I was just like, it looks fine.
I mean,
the way the Destiny looked on that thing,
it looked fine.
Was awful.
I'll tell you what, it looked better then than it does in 60 FPS now.
No, I think that's
the way
a
it is
feel
sometimes.
thing. That's a feel thing. It's not a looks thing.
Bump that down to 30. See how you feel.
Can't.
I don't think
you
can.
can't. Oh my god!
No, you can't because it's an online game, Forrest. That would jack up. That would jack up.
You're right. Well,
yeah.
I don't know, because some other online games you can have be either locked to 60 or in some cases locked up to like 120.
You know what game looked worse on when it got a visual patch? Apex Legends.
Yes.
When they gave it that
Agreed.
4K upgrade, I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited because this game has looked like a PS2 game for a long time. And no, it looks worse. Bad. And now it's dying, so.
Yeah.
You know.
A slow death, but.
All live service games die eventually.
Good.
Not Fortnite.
It will eventually.
One day.
I don't know.
It'll probably be at the heat death of the universe, but it will die somehow, some way, one day.
And it will probably be due to mismanagement.
They were stressed out about the
is
money it
more
was bringing
likely.
in. Then they cracked open
The
Dragon Ball Z skins, and it's to the
and
moon.
Every single player in either a Latin household or in Latin America bought all of them.
I mean, look, it'll probably be like with Bungie that at some point the developers will be like, all right, let's start making some other stuff instead of Fortnite, and then
And they
and
just
then it will
can't escape it.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, got a new TV. It rocks. It's an OLED. I love everything on it. And so I got to play some of the Marvel Rivals beta before that shut down, and I had a pretty good time with it.
Who's your favorite rival?
Star-Lord.
Mm.
He's got
Who? You mean Tracer?
Tracer, but with McCree's
Yep.
movement kit, which is
I'm
why
telling
I
you,
liked
dude.
him.
You should give it a shot because it's free to play, of course, when it comes out. But Marvel Rivals rules. That game is fun.
It was pretty fun.
It's super good.
Yeah.
I get so
Some
tilted
of
at
the
hero shooters, so it's hard for me to say.
Some of the ways that some of the characters can move is crazy stuff. Like Storm was just I was playing as her for a little bit too, and I was just flying around a mile away from everyone, still hitting people
Yep.
though.
Did you play as Magic?
I
Magic
tried.
rules.
I
was so good.
I
as Magic.
wanted to playing as her so bad, but I do think I just with games like this, I think I found that I just need a close to medium range character, and Magic is too close range for me with not enough medium range stuff in her toolkit.
You just got to keep portaling. Keep KP.
So true.
Keep portaling.
I don't know if I'm mentally capable of such a thing.
Oh, I'm zipping.
Yeah.
You just need to go pure donkey mode.
There's no donkey.
Yeah, sorry, I don't
There's
think
Jeff.
there's any donkeys.
Jeff is in it.
You
Yeah.
don't need a donkey to go donkey mode. Donkey mode is a mindset.
So true. Just like big mode.
Yeah. Don't you remember donkey mode, David? It was when you put on the donkey head and Liza P.
That's right. You know what? You do have to go donkey mode. Man. That did fix everything.
Yeah.
I would get mad at that game.
And then you
put
put
on
on,
the donkey
put
head.
on the donkey head
Go donkey
and
mode.
go donkey mode.
And I'd win.
So what I'm
You
hearing
beat
is
the
that
game.
the key to victory is donkey mode.
Well,
It's-
in this case, it might be.
Okay, heard.
God, what a video game. Let's just talk about Liza P.
Yeah.
I thought about re-downloading it the other day just to feel something.
Man, nothing's
fight
hitting
the
the way
king of
it
puppets
used to.
again.
Nothing's hitting like Liza
Dang,
P
man.
did.
Oh yeah, speaking of things not hitting like a Soulsborne game, I also started the Elden Ring DLC, and man, nothing hits me like that game does.
Yeah, you'll see.
Listen, I'm having a blast, even when I'm frustrated.
I did too. I just think the bosses are very unbalanced in it, and in not a fun way. I
could
still,
see that.
Seth was watching. We were watching just a fun video of this guy that puts bosses versus each other, and even he was just like, "So these are the attacks Radon does." And I'm like,
It's absurd
dude.
the speed that he attacks.
Yeah.
It's like he attacks the same speed as a player character.
Yeah.
And the faster in
crazy
some
stuff.
instances with no stamina
Yeah.
drop.
No.
So and that's almost every boss in the DLC, and it just made it less fun. Because so what made it more staggering is you're watching Radon go up against bosses from the original game, and he just is. It is a player character essentially because he's moving. It was really movement.
The only thing he can't do is dodge attacks.
Yeah, but it was really staggering to watch him fight Radagon because he's just moving so fast around Radagon, and it's like this. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And they don't give you the chance to breathe. So
I don't know. I find that I enjoy the boss fight design when it is more difficult like that. And I would say there's definitely a degree of unfair.
I don't think it. I think the difficult's the wrong word. Have you even fought one of the main bosses yet?
I've beaten the beast. Like at the top of that.
Yeah, I did that.
Tower.
I did that one without help. With my mimic, I did that one fine.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten to the one where it starts to get that way is Rolana.
Yeah.
And then the ones after that are where it becomes like, because after Rolana's Mesmer. So
yeah, I don't know. If these bosses are anything, even if they're a higher level than what like Melania or something was, I think I'm gonna have a good time because I like these problems.
But
I like finding how I can fit myself into the puzzle piece that is their solution.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with you. I'm not trying to argue with you.
Yeah. I think we have just different like mindsets for approaching these things.
No, because I also enjoy that. Like that's the thing. I enjoy that. I'm saying that these characters do not give you the breathing room to use the game's mechanics and slot things in. You don't have, like, when I was fighting Radon and even Mesmer at times, when I would try to do it solo, I couldn't. They move and attack so fast with such frequency that you don't even really have time to do a summon. The game wants you to do summons and stuff. It doesn't really give you the ability to do that.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, it is funny when to see the videos of like you walk into a room and do the summon bell and you just get blasted with like a one-hit kill attack.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And
it's funny, kind of, but it doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
And it's not because not saying that Lies of P. No, I am. Lies of P in a lot of ways is harder than stuff in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
But like I've beaten a ton of hard bosses like this, and I'm willing to play the game, but when it doesn't give you a chance to even get up or like breathe, then it's not. You're not really. You're asking me to survive getting hit and then maybe get a hit or two, and you're not asking me to interact. You are just bludgeoning me on the ground, and it doesn't. I'm not saying it's unfair. It's just like it's not interactive. It's not fun.
Yeah, because like a lot of base game Elden Ring is like very open-ended in its design. I would say like you can approach that game in a million different ways for each like unique kind of person that is playing the game. But from what it's sounding like, the DLC kind of stifles you and tries to put you in a box that doesn't necessarily fit.
So you have to change your build.
Yeah.
You have to change your build for the specific bosses, unless you're stubborn and do it. And then good on you, but like I've seen people be like, oh, I'm like 120 tries in on this character with my build. And that's just not fun to me. You know, I'm glad for everyone that is. But I loved everything about that DLC while running around the world. But after Mesmer, I just was like, I'm done interacting with this on this game's level. I'm just going to finish this. Yeah. I don't really care to do that. I think that's also because I played like I went
Played a
back and did a lot
lot
of
of
the
it.
I went back and did a lot of the base Elden Ring that I didn't do before, like Melania and Millennia and Moog and stuff, because I had to do Moog.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm interested to see what you think when you
Once I get further in.
because I think the Mesmer on is where it's just like, what is, like, why?
Yeah.
Why is it made this way? Still weird to me that Mesmer's not the final boss after the way the trailers went either.
Yeah, he
But-
definitely seems like I don't know, like the main character, I guess, of like the
He's the
stuff
most
we've seen so
vibes.
far. Yeah.
It's sort of like
Yeah.
when Lady Dimitrescu was not the
Main
big
like
boss of
antagonist.
art,
Of, yeah.
Certainly the focus of the advertisements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they probably did Radon just to, like, I don't know, as a like, ooh, yeah.
Tie
this
some
is-
sort of
I
knot.
don't know.
Yeah.
I do think, I remember when I was reading about all the bosses on the wiki, I was like, really? It's sort of weird that it's Radon. Is there something after it? And there's not.
No.
Curious.
And there's no credits either.
Yeah.
You beat him, and it just ends. That's it. You can just leave.
Huh.
There's no credits, no sense of ending, nothing really. It's very strange.
It's really
Yeah,
weird.
I think that is definitely the weirdest thing. I thought for sure there would be like a new ending that you could get, like a new rune that you could forge into the Elden Ring.
Yeah. Huh.
Nope.
That's so weird.
Strange.
Life goes on in
Yep.
the land between.
And the
Right? Land between? That's what's called.
and the shadow
between.
realm.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also been playing more Hollow Knight. I have this problem with that game right now where
Where it's a perfect video game.
it doesn't feel like it sometimes. So here's the thing. I'll play it for about 3 days straight, and I'm feeling good, and then I will get busy and not play it for another 2 days, and then I come back and I feel so lost. And like I feel like not that I need my hand held through the game, but I also feel very directionless during that first day back playing it. That sometimes I have had to look up a guide of like, all right, this is the last thing that I did. What the heck am I supposed to do next? But like the game itself like is of course great, but I really do feel directionless half the time when I'm coming back to it, and I don't like that feeling.
But that's because you can do whatever you want.
That doesn't really help when you don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Like I keep going back to that one place that like on the map it's like the black mask logo thing over towards the like right below the the town.
Have you gone to the main city
Yeah.
and you got to where it shows the 3 masks on the map?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or
Yeah.
wait. I'm going to need to check something. But I did just get the crystal heart ability or whatever it's called, where you hold
Oh
the thing
yeah,
and
and
go,
you can dash.
you rocket yourself.
Yeah, the big dash.
Yeah.
Big dash.
So like I don't know where I'm going now, but I like went to a spot on my map earlier that I was like, oh, this seems like a perfect chasm to use this thing across, and
It was.
it kind of, but then there's like a bunch of platforming and stuff that I don't feel like I have the full ability set for to do properly. Like I think I'm missing a double jump. Like I don't have that yet. And I feel like that.
You might need a double jump.
Yeah, so some stuff like that. So I was trying my hardest to get through it, but like it was super frustrating.
Just watch that GDQ speedrun and do that.
Yeah, that'll tell me exactly what
There
I need to
is
do.
so much of that game that you don't
That
have
just
to
gets
do.
cut out. Yeah,
And not even like if you're using speedrunning strats, like
it's just some things are just not necessary.
you can skip whole areas. That's why I said like it's all about what you want to do. There was plenty of times where I like you would get lost and I'm not saying like this is just you like just get good. That's not what I'm saying. Like there was plenty of times where I'd get lost or forget where I was going, and then I would just be like, I'm just gonna explore then. Like, and I just kind of would go.
Yeah.
And and Chris and Andrea had this issue in some ways. I just didn't, my brain never looked, I was always enjoying my time so much with that game that my brain never felt the friction of being lost. I just was like, okay, well then, I'll just go this way then. Like, I just kind of was happy with doing things in the world.
Yeah.
And I wish more people had my experience of that, but
I certainly
but
wish
I feel
did.
that friction in other video games.
Yeah.
So like this, I just didn't with this one. Like it just clicked on every level, the music, everything, art style, to where I just was like, it didn't bother me.
You were in constant flow state while playing it.
Meanwhile, Sea of Stars, I was just looking up where to go next the whole time, even though I liked it. But I was like, I'm ready for this to be over. Yeah. Not in a bad way. Just I want to be on a track.
Forrest never played Wheels.
That's true.
God.
I don't know what that is.
It's a little mini game that's in it.
God.
That's so fun.
Okay.
I
we all play games
never
different.
Played Wheels.
Wheels.
You also didn't play.
And we know he didn't play Queen's Blood.
You didn't
That's
play
true.
Queen's Blood.
I played some Queen's Blood.
Not enough.
Not
Came
enough.
around to it.
Yeah, I came around to it.
Yeah, but you didn't play it enough to get the cool part.
Well, yeah,
You
sure.
never got to play against Vincent.
Yeah.
Man, what?
That's the final.
Crap.
That's the final one.
He's the final Queen's Blood player?
Yeah.
Very
What?
weird.
It's awesome. I popped off.
That rips.
Oh, man.
That was super cool.
Does he play you in his, like, dog beast form?
No.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would be cool.
How would he do it?
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Red 13 played, so I mean.
Yeah, so
was
I
possible.
couldn't. Vincent Beast.
Don't be specious, Sam.
Yeah, dude, come
But
on.
his dog beast form is so big.
Okay, we just make the Queen's Blood table bigger.
But they come in one size.
Man, I'm ready
It
for
can
the
be-
last one
it
of
can
that
be
to come
in
out.
big and-
Hopefully at Gamescom we'll get a trailer.
Look, there is no proof that it can be embiggened. It doesn't happen in the whole
Why
game.
can't they just make a bigger table?
I mean, because they don't
Shinra has limitless.
Yeah, but they
financial
don't have
resources.
Seto Kaiba.
To
Before-
think.
Hold on.
We need this
before
bigger.
before like we go off rails, and I want to know if you think there's going to be anything cool at Gamescom
When is it?
this weekend /
What?
well, opening night live is Tuesday.
Oh crap!
Next Tuesday, yeah.
Well, we know
At
there
2
will be
p.m.
announcements. Because
Yeah.
they said there will be.
So true.
I don't know. It's hard to predict if there's ever going to be cool stuff anywhere.
Gamescom is
Some
one of
say
the
no,
ones
no
where
cool stuff.
there's cool stuff and there's not. Like it doesn't ever have like home runs, but it'll have like one or two little gems.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get a Hades 2 release date.
It's already out, you know.
Well, I know, but a 1.0 on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I
That would
hope
be nice.
we get a Marvel Rivals drop. I think that it'll drop. Because that game seems like it was really close to 1.0. Like, that...
I would agree on that, but also like I think from a developmental standpoint, if you're going to do a beta like test release for a game, most of the time that should be to iron out some last like gameplay and balancing changes, but also like network stress test. And I don't think we're far enough removed from the ending of the beta for them to get all that data, implement it, and then do a 1.0 release just yet.
We'll see. It could have just been finishing touches.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're also
It did
trying to
feel
figure out how to
very
monetize that game.
Yeah, which I will probably have massive problems with, as I am wont to do.
So we know that Xbox has stuff, apparently, so we might see some stuff from them. And we know that Sega has IPs that they have yet to to like go in depth on, so we could probably see some cool stuff from them.
You know, it would be really funny
What
if Tango Gameworks showed
Ooh.
up and announced Hi-Fi Rush 2,
the newly revived.
releasing releasing on everything but Xbox.
Shoutouts to the publisher of PUBG, BG, who saved Tango.
Yep.
Hopefully they don't
Run it into the ground.
Run it into the ground.
I
mean, hopefully they let themselves run it.
be almost autonomous.
Also, bad guy Microsoft for closing them down, but good guy Microsoft for not just telling them to screw off on not letting them buy the IP and stuff, which they could easily have done. They could have easily said, this is ours. And you can do like lo-fi slow down.
Lo-Fi Dash.
Yeah, lo-fi dash or
Lo-fi
Which
crawl.
I would play.
Yeah.
Lo-Fi Dash sounds great.
And I'm not like
It seems it would probably be a great game to chill to.
Exactly.
And study.
Maybe even study. Yeah. Maybe even relax.
Yeah.
so. A notable leaker posted that they think
Is it that Japanese woman who's a man?
No. Posted that the next PS5 game that was Xbox will possibly be Forza Horizon 5.
Don't care.
Yeah.
It would be weird.
Not interested.
Yeah, truly.
It's more just interesting that more
Yeah.
games are leaving the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's true. I think we'll continue to see it as Xbox shifts away from the exclusives model.
Yeah. They care about getting their games out and getting them
They just
bought.
want people to buy them.
Yeah. And they're not going to buy them on Xbox.
Yeah.
Because of Game Pass.
Yeah.
So why would I buy them?
It hasn't worked so far.
Yeah.
Why would they start now?
I mean, I'm not going to buy it when it's on Game Pass. Heck no.
So you got
Sorry.
people without Game Pass.
Not
to
sorry.
buy it.
Yeah. Remember back in
I don't know if that
like
Game
a
Pass
few
was going
years
to be on
ago.
Switch.
That's what I was about to get at. Literally what I was thinking.
Man,
a few years
those are the
ago, we were like,
days.
man,
I still
Banjo
think it could
Kazooie's
happen.
in Smash now. Like, man, this means Microsoft is looking to get Game Pass on the Switch. How cool would that
I still
be?
think it is.
I don't know.
I think we're
past.
I think we are well past that.
I think
brother.
it is Nintendo that does not necessarily want Game Pass on the Switch.
I don't know. I think that
Microsoft has said they're
parties,
open and willing
sure,
to be.
but I also don't know if they're actively trying to make anything happen. You know, like you could say, "Yeah, I want to do this," and then never do the thing.
Because
just make it another tier of Nintendo Switch
I would bet,
online.
I would bet that Xbox would at least be like, put an XCloud app on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I bet you Nintendo would say, no, thank you. No. I'm good. Don't need that. Because then...
They would not reckon.
Yeah. But it's just... I don't know. I agree with you guys, but also that's annoying. I want Xbox to do better. I think they will eventually.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They just have
I
to
want
buy
them
more
to-
studios.
Yeah, buy more studios and then shut down more studios.
Fable just has to be good. Fable has to be good.
Avowed
Indiana
has
Jones
to be
has to be
good.
good. Avowed has to be good.
Which got delayed.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't get delayed, Forrest. They just moved out of their competitive time frame.
I didn't know we were sitting in the room on the podcast with an executive from Microsoft. Wow. You really got that speech down pat.
You know, it just really to give it the ability to grow.
They just decided to do what Nintendo does and not release a game until they want to.
Yeah.
The only difference is we know about the game before.
Right, yeah. They're just Nintendoing. They're just not.
They're learning
They're learning how.
lessons.
Yeah, they're learning
They're being
how.
too transparent.
Yeah. Really, if they were going to do it right, they would have just slightly leaked it out to someone like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we would just kind of be quietly waiting for this Avowed game every direct.
Yep.
Man.
And then they'd say, "Oh, this is our October game," like, and in June. Did you guys see that the MEO listing on the Switch specifically
Yes.
calls out that they say shit in it?
Yep.
It says the word, and it says sh*t is in the video game.
That's funny.
It says it specifically in the text, and
And
it's very funny.
yes.
It made me laugh. I don't usually
The
cuss on
first,
this
the
show.
first
but that was-
Nintendo cuss since the H word in the DK rap.
yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
It's probably not true. I'm sure it's been.
I feel like there's probably been
they've probably
more.
cursed in other games,
Maybe.
but I couldn't off the top of my head.
I couldn't think of any.
Although we don't really know what Link's grunts mean.
No.
So true. Those could just be expletives the whole way through.
So
He's actually really angry.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly know I am when I play through those games and I make similar sounds. It's just I know what they translate to in English.
Yeah.
You know.
the thing I'm going to end on is a thought I had the other day, and I want to pose it to Forrest. I asked Seth this: is what if the next Persona is a mecha?
Oh
It'll
man,
never happen, but that's what I want.
I wouldn't see
I
it as
think-
Persona then.
Yeah, I think
like
now that I
Persona
think
is a
about
very
it-
specific thing. It like Persona being specifically what it is what separates it from Shin Megami Tensei. You know?
and I think that's why they are doing Metaphor as its own title.
Yeah.
Versus it
Yeah,
being Persona.
yeah, that makes
Medieval
sense.
Persona.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
But also, man, I would
That would be great.
What are they gonna
love
do,
a mecha
Yeah.
High school
like,
drama,
high
but
school
they all have
drama.
mechas.
Yeah. Man.
It's a great pitch.
I know.
Oh my god.
I got ideas.
Call up Atlas.
I've got him on speed dial right now.
All right.
It's
Well,
honestly kind of what Gundam Witch from Mercury is.
yeah.
yeah,
Man,
but I want the
oh.
video game.
Put in some psychological stuff, a la Evangelion. Like,
That's
I mean,
where
they
that's
do have
where
to kill
that's
God
where-
at some point.
That's
so-
where
Yeah.
we started.
Yep.
That's where we started. Was we were talking about Evangelion, and I was like,
hey,
man,
what if there was a Persona game like this?
said you haven't watched this? You probably should if you want a depressive spiral.
So true.
I'm really interested in it. If I'm gonna watch an old anime, it's going to be the Beyblade anime.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Gundam Wing.
Nah, I don't know that I ever will want to watch Gundam Wing again.
That's fair.
All right. Well, with that, we appreciate you listening as always. If there's something cool announced at Opening Night Live, we might record something next week. And with that, we will talk at you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.